Hello classmates, my name is Billy Smith. The topic for my presentation is David Allen Coe. David Allen Coe is a country music star. He's a singer, he's a songwriter. He's acted in, 5 or 6 different films. David was born September 6, 1939 in Akron, Ohio. At the age of 9, he was sent to the Ohio Reformatory School for Boys. He also spent much of the next 20 years of his life in and out of correctional facilities. It's been written in his older years in prison. He was treated pretty poorly by racist inmates due to the fact that David Allen Coe befriended African American prisoners. Then in 1967, after another prison term, he began his music career in Nashville, Tennessee. I personally became aware of David Allen Coe in the mid to late 80s when I was in high school. The one thing that I did find interesting about his music is that if you listen from the earlier years right on through, he kind of tells his life story. He mentions about being in the reformatory school. Then he mentions an incident where Johnny Cash came to a prison that David Allen Coe was in to play a concert. He goes to tell that Johnny Cash was walking by the cells and he was in there playing and singing, and apparently David was doing a good enough job that Johnny Cash actually stopped and took notice of him. Over time they became friends, and David actually claims that Johnny Cash helped him get his release from prison. Another thing that I had learned about David Allen Coe is due to his criminal past and such. When he arrived in Nashville, everybody pretty much shut the door in his face. So he went down to the Ryman Auditorium, which is where they do the Grand Ole Opry, and he put on these outfits and dressed up as a cowboy and actually had a mask. And the country song about the rhinestone cowboy, David Allen Coe claims that he was the first one that done that, and that was one of his outfits that he wore outside of there to draw their attention. He thought because of his past and everything, if he could block his face and maybe have people not recognize who he is, but just recognize the importance of his music and the sounds and such, that he would be successful, which he was. Another thing, David Allen Coe has written a lot of famous songs for other people. One of them, it's an old Tanya Tucker song. It's called "Lay With Me in the Fields of Stone," and I'll play that next. Another thing I think you should know is that David Allen Coe has ties to the state of Florida. He lived in West Palm Beach. He actually owns part of the Iron Horse Saloon over in Ormond Beach. He's been playing there during Bike Week, from what I read, for the past 19 years. He helped finance the moving of it and rebuilding into what it is today. A little closer to home, back in March or April of this year, I seen on television where David Allen Coe was involved in a traffic accident right here in Ocala, Florida. It said that he was with 3 other people and ran a stop sign or a red light and hit a semi-trailer. His 3 passengers weren't injured, but apparently David Allen Coe sustained a head injury that he kept him in the hospital for a couple weeks. That's a little note kind of close to home. One of the last things I'd like to share about David Allen Coe that I had learned many years ago, pretty much his whole life he spent wearing the long hair, looking like a hippie, a biker, kind of a thug. Well, around 1988 or 89, David Allen Coe's father died, and apparently his father never really approved of him having long hair. So in respect to his father, as you can see from this picture here, David Allen Coe cut all of his hair off. He wore it that way up until the mid-90s, and he started to grow it back. And the last photograph I've seen of him, it's quite long again. But David Allen Coe, he is one of the American country music legends, good or bad. You take your pick. He actually, I found out since I started this video, when he got out of prison, when Johnny Cash helped him, David Allen Coe was actually on death row for killing another inmate. Of course, since then, apparently he's paid his debt to society, and that he's become an icon. He's a musician I enjoy listening to, and it's sad to think that he had so rough beginnings, but now he entertains and gives back to his community. I hope you enjoyed the presentation. Thank you.